Hello everybody, this is ET's Babies. This is part 2 of the caretake of silicone snuggles on Etsy. This little guy and all her other little silicones. So, I'm going to be feeding him some warm water because he had milk earlier today. Oh, wait. Before I give him this, before we get started, let me just... Sometimes he spits up, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes the bottle he may not be able to drink it as fast. I noticed that all my silicones that I've had, they drink on their own when the milk is really nice and warm. But when the water or the milk is like just room temperature, you really gotta pump the bottle back and forth. So, let's get started. Oh shoot, hold on y'all. Okay, I had to turn the light on a little bit. But, so we're gonna get into the caretake of all the silicones that I've had. For the most part, they say not to, not to, wash your silicones with baby soap because of the chemicals could break down your baby. I don't know. I wouldn't tell you to do it. I personally do try it. I just buy baby soap that says sensitive skin or alcohol free or, something of that nature. I use that type of baby soap if I really want to, if I really want to get into the role play of, playing with my babies, I'll look for soap that says for sensitive skin. Other than that, we can go crazy and use soaps that have perfumes and a lot of, stuff in it like that because it could break your silicone down, especially if you don't like really rinse it off good. So I wouldn't go to that extent, but I have, the grades of silicones I have had have been strong enough to handle me washing them. Yeah, don't scrub them with a towel. Don't rub them with a towel. If you're going to use a towel, mat them. You don't want to destroy the paint or the matting. I'm sorry, guys. My anxiety is like going up and down, up and down. Okay, so bathing. You want to mat them when you dry them. You don't want to use a washcloth to wash them. They'll get silky in the water on their own. They don't need all of that. As far as feeding is do as you would like. I've used alcohol. I've used vinegar, cleaning my baby's tubes out because I do use formula. There are a lot of people, a lot of reborns collectors and silicone collectors out there that are against you actually feeding your silicone baby formula. I personally feel like those are Karens. You bought the baby. You get to do what you please. When you buy a car, can't nobody tell you how to drive or how to take care of any of that. They can give you advice. They can give you their opinion. But it's up to you to decide what you want to do with your vehicle. You know what I mean? That goes for anything that you buy. So, I'm going to continue to, feed my baby whatever I would like to feed my baby. So that's just upon you. But just be careful when it comes to feeding it formula. Don't feed your baby formula and then overnight not clean the tubing out. Clean the tubing out right away. I personally would say use really, really warm water. That way the tubing gets clean. Do several feedings. Don't put a lot of alcohol or vinegar in the bottle until you can figure out the silicone and the paint that's on your dowel, just to make sure that it doesn't come off. Because some people I've heard alcohol, they've let their dowel sit in the diaper while the diaper was wet, and the alcohol ate the paint up around the booty. I've used alcohol. I don't let my dowel sit in wet diapers. So I've never had that experience. I've used alcohol and I've used vinegar. Both do great jobs. The only thing with the vinegar, it does make the inside of the dowel smell extremely strong, because I wanted to make sure that pickles was clean and there was no maggots or anything growing inside of her. So just take that into account when you do use the vinegar. Don't use a large amount of it. Just make sure you warm the bottle up so that it's just like washing dishes. We do not wash with cold water. Don't wash your clothes in cold water. So yes, that's how you do the inside of, that's what I would recommend. You do as you may, but this is what I would just recommend from my experience. What else? Okay, so feeding. Right, so you don't leave the baby in the diaper overnight. If you're gonna feed your baby formula, make sure to always clean the tubing out right afterwards. Don't let it sit overnight. Milk in a bottle, we've seen what it does when it gets spoiled. It cakes up. You don't want your dowel to be plugged on the inside and you can no longer feed it anymore. So, that's that. So, take that into account. When it comes to feeding formula, it's a big responsibility, because you sit there for a good minute feeding it formula, and then you have to sit there for, I do it for several hours, is clean the tubing out just to make sure that everything is coming out and nothing is stuck up in there, or the tubing isn't smelling like formula, So it's a responsibility to sit there and do that. And I don't mind, because this is comforting to me. But so we have that. We have the bathing, baby powder, cornstarch. You can buy the expensive silk powder, the matting powder that they use on the silicones. I've used it. I've also used baby powder that was just corn. I've used cornstarch by itself, and I have used baby powder that had cornstarch in it. And nothing happened to my silicones. Now, the greater silicones that I had, I don't know if that makes a difference, but step lightly in that area. I'm not a chemist. I don't know the grades of silicones and how baby powder affects it. I've just never was unfortunate to experience it eating my silicone up. And then I wasn't powdering my silicones all the time. I feed them more than I bathe them and powder them. So that, I've never had a bad experience with it. Let's see. Yeah, your safest route is the silicone matting powder or the cornstarch, the pure cornstarch. But if you're going to use baby powder, just make sure it doesn't have, what is it, talc? I don't know how you say it, talc, or I don't know, but I hope you guys, some of y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But make sure that it doesn't have that in it, and it has cornstarch in it. But I've never had a problem. I've even mixed my silk matting powder with my cornstarch to give it a really silky, soft effect without harming the silicone. So you just gotta play around and test it out. Don't powder your whole entire dowel with a baby powder. With a baby powder, you may not know if the silicone can handle it. Like maybe do a foot or something, maybe a cheek. If you want to try it out and see how your baby, silicone reacts to it, I would say go that route first. I don't want to tell you to just jump right into what I've done, because I don't know what silicone grades you guys have compared to what I've had. And some of my babies, I can't even remember the grade of silicone because I don't pour. So, you know, I don't know anything about EcoFlex and this soft silicone. Like, I don't know none of that stuff. I'm so unaware of it. The babies that I have had, I have, stepped lightly in those areas and tried different things to see and talk to different individuals who had, you know, silicones. Like, I watched Erica. That's how I knew I could use the alcohol, because I was using vinegar. So, it just takes time, and it takes you to experience it for yourself to see if it works for you. But that's that. If you're gonna feed your baby formula, I would suggest, this is just a suggestion, I would use glass bottles over plastic, just because plastic can collect, it can collect stuff. I would use a glass bottle because you can sanitize it better, especially when you cannot get inside of your dowel to clean your dowel properly. You want to make sure that everything that you're using, the only reason why I'm using this plastic bottle is because the glass bottle that I bought, I have to figure out what the heck is wrong with it, because I was using this bottle and for some reason it kept leaking. So, and this bottle was $12. Do you know 2 of these bottles is like $32? Expensive bottle. And this was like $1, $2. This bottle worked a whole lot better than that one do. And I bought this one at Family Dollar. Like, I could have kept my $12. I could have had 12 of these bottles. But we live and we learn, right? What's that, Loves? Huggies? One of those diapers commercials. But, so that's that when it comes to the feeding, the bathing, the powdering. Now, when it comes to picking your silicone up, I am really bad at picking my silicone up underneath the armpits. Pickles had to get repaired. I repaired her so many times, and then I sent her in to be repaired. Not a good idea to pick them up underneath the arms. They're not real. They don't have armpits. And some silicone babies do, but if your baby doesn't have armpit, even if it does, I wouldn't suggest it, because I've tore on accident when I had pickles. So I learned that the hard way. Of course, it was something that could be repaired, and then after it got repaired, you didn't even know it was there. So that was a good thing. But if I had been more aware of what I was doing, she wouldn't have got ripped. You know what I mean? So my suggestion on how to pick your silicones up is to scoop them up. From the head to the little booty to the bottom. Just scoop them up. Don't try not to put a lot of their weight and separate underneath their arms. I feel like even if your baby has armatry or armpits, I wouldn't suggest it, because the armatry is really very sensitive for your baby to have, because it's silicone, and if it breaks or stabs through the silicone, it could be just terrible. So you have to be very careful with the armatry. You bend the armatry just like you would bend your own arm, your own leg. Don't bend it in a weird position that we don't bend in, because you're gonna break it. And if you break it, it's gonna pop through the silicone. And that would suck, because these babies are not cheap. So that's one thing with the armatry. And then when you move the arms, you should hold the hand and the elbow to pull it down. Don't just grab it by one and just pull it down, because you don't want the armature that's in the wrist to pop out, or you don't want the armature to get bent up or tangled the wrong, like, I love armature, but it's very delicate. It's, no matter what size the baby is, it's very delicate. So that's the armature. So you hold on to the armature and you move it just like you would move your arms and your legs. Don't move it in a foreign or weird position that you can't move in, because you're going to damage your little one. And always make sure that you hold the arms and the legs with both your hands when you're folding and bending them up. That way you're protecting the armature from stressing the silicone out. And try not to bend and fold the silicone all day long, constantly bending and folding, because you can also wear the armature, and the armature can snap, and that can also come through the silicone. So you just gotta be, delicate. That's all. You just gotta be delicate. You gotta treat it as if it was a real newborn baby. Okay, so we did the armature on him. Now his eyes is a little tricky. I can't give any advice on that because I'm still trying to figure out how to his eyes in and out without stressing the corners of his eyes. So that I will get back to you on, because I haven't figured out how I am going to do that. I'm actually afraid to take them out again because they're so tiny and I don't want to lose them. But the eyes are a little tricky. They are kind of tricky, so we're not going to go there. He doesn't have any hair. He's a little baldy. I may root him later on. I do have my rooting needles with me. A lot of my supplies, guys, I had to leave behind. I don't have space or room for the stuff that I have. But that's okay, because once this is all over and done, God is going to bless me and I'm going to be okay. So I'm not even going to trip over it. So let's see. We did the armature, we did the bathing, we did the feeding, we did the eyes. Ooh, nope, you're done. Yep, I feel that diaper. So, yeah, I don't know why that bottle leaks. Okay, so this is the deal. I believe we are done with the 101 with silicone. Oh, I know we all want our silicone babies to smell beautiful and smell delicious like a real baby. I was on Amazon and I noticed that they had baby roll-on. You know the roll-on perfumes you just roll onto your clothes? The little tube, look like a chapstick tube. Baby powder on Amazon. So that's what you can do too if you don't want to use baby powder, you know, for the smell. Because some people use it for the smell. Some people use it to powder their silicone up. But you can use that and you can rub that on his clothes. That way it's not on him. Or, you know, not on your silicone. So I did notice that on there, that they had that. So if you want to do that route, you can. Pacifiers in the mouth, I forgot to talk about this. When it comes to your silicones, what I've been told to use and what actually works great, because there's like several different things you can use. There's a silicone liquid lip stuff that you can put on your silicone's mouth. I have bought it before and I've used it for my pacifiers, but when it dries, it makes your baby's lips powdery, so I don't like it. So I wouldn't tell you to use that. That is on Etsy though, so I wouldn't use that. I have used the silicone matting powder on pacifiers to get it in the mouth, but I still don't like the powder in the mouth. So for me, I didn't like that. What worked best for me is KY lubricant. I know, but it works. So I will be getting him some, but I don't really think he's going to be a pacifier type of baby because he has ridges like top gums. His bottom tongue, well, his bottom tongue, Lord, his tongue has taste buds on it. And his mouth really isn't that deep. Like his, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. His drinking wet stops basically like right here. Some babies' drinking wets stop all the way down here so that there's flow to go down. But she made his like really, really close to his mouth. So his mouth is really little. Even his preemie pacifiers that I've got him are still too big. I cut one and then I thought about it. I don't want that rough part of the pacifier in his mouth. You know what I mean? So I never took his clothes off, you guys, and like really showed y'all what he looked like. So we're gonna do that as well. So I'm gonna give y'all a little showdown of what he looks like with all his clothes off. I don't know if I can actually do his diaper off. I've seen some people do it on YouTube and not get banned. I don't know if I want to take that chance because I literally just got one of my videos blocked because Family Guy was playing in the background. So I don't know how that works, but that's what I'm talking about. That's how we get the diaper full. I am going to take his little shirt off. So when I take his shirt off, this is what I mean. You hold his elbow and his wrist, and then you pull down. You find where it stops at, then you pull. His connect all the way across. So I'm learning that to push his arm, one arm up, that way I can he is so little and I don't want to bend his hand because his armatry stops. It stops in his wrist, which is really dangerous. I wish it had went down into his hand, but it stops at his wrist, which is very dangerous. You got to be super careful. When it stops at the wrist, that just means that when you are dressing him, you need to make sure you don't bend him like this because that armatry, that little bone, that metal is right there and you can puncture. So unfortunately, that's where she put hers at. But I've seen other artists talk about putting it further down into the palms of the hands, that way that this part don't get damaged. But, you know, for each his own. I'm just explaining to y'all what I, know. Here, let me take his hat off as well so y'all can, like, really get a good look at him. So we're going to try. This is a doll that is lifelike. So it is meant to look like a real preemie baby. So please do not block my video. This is a doll, not a real baby. This is a declosure, right? That's how you say that? All right, so you got anything in you before I pick you up and you let go? So there go his little bum bum. Now with him, his drinking wet is in his little booty. It's not in his little boy parts. So we're going to turn him around. And this is what he looks like. So I'm going to lay him down. He is kind of sticky, you guys, so I'm gonna powder him on camera with y'all. I'm actually gonna move. Let's see if I can push off back enough where y'all can see what I'm doing with him. So I'm not gonna powder his face because I did that the last time and I did not like. He's so chocolatey and the powder just does nothing but make him powder dusty looking. But he has you know, silicone collects a lot of lint and stuff, so I am just going to powder him up a little bit. And this baby powder does not pure cornstarch. See, I told you. It's literally all you gotta do is just get something that smells good that you can use on your baby that's not going to damage the silicone but still smell good. I don't know what I want to put you on now. Change you up, change you up. Here, can I roll you over? He is so dusty. You got little creases in your booty cheeks. Oh my Lord, y'all. So yeah, guys, you can use baby powder. What you use is the cheap baby powder that's cornstarch. So don't use that Johnson & Johnson crap. Because I feel like most definitely your baby silicone is going to get messed up. I wouldn't want to use that on real kids. They didn't have too many things going on with them. Okay. Oops, see? Nope. I got to get used to the bones because he was just laying on his hand. Here, pick your arm up. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do his little head. I'm not going to do his face, but I'm going to get his little ears. Y'all, he got... Look at them little lines in his booty. Okay. All right. I don't want to do too much of the front of the head because... And then you see I am not rubbing it in. I am just matting him down. Oh. So she gave him armpits. All right. I had to make sure because it was looking weird under there. I didn't know what I was looking at. Okay. So, y'all got to see what he looked like. I think he's the yawning baby. That's why his little mouth is like that. I just thought it was so cute. And then I love when my boys' silicones are circumcised. I don't know, it looks more realistic to me. It helps when I change their diaper and I role play and feed them to become as realistic as possible. Okay, so there he go. I just want to fix his diaper in the back. And he does wear preemie pretty good. Like really, really good. So that is Prince of Peace. I'm gonna see what I can put on him for right now. Oh, I could put the green one on. He had a green one on yet. Okay. So yeah, guys, like I said in the previous video, we have to come up with a new nursery name. I would love you guys' thoughts and ideas and opinions on the new name, because ET was me and my ex's initials, and I don't want that anymore. So yeah, I would love y'all's opinion. You need some more clothes, buddy. Mm-hmm. It's the armature that scares me the most. I love it, but yeah. That's the part that I am fearful of damaging. So y'all see that? I'm holding on to his elbow and his wrist. You don't want to do one without the other. You want to be able to support both of them. Okay, so I'm going to sit him down real quick so I can close his pants, his bottoms up. Okay, so that's that. Let's put his white hat back on him, because he got on green and I don't have anything to match that. Well, I know that Amazon's premium hats that I just ordered fit him perfect. I do like mittens on his hands to protect him, but I think he only gonna wear mittens when we leave the house. Yeah. because when we're in the house, I like seeing his hands. That's one of the other things I liked about him too. Put his socks back on. He done spilled something on these socks already. They were pure white. Now they got something on. Mm-hmm. You know, he got a little. His legs are so cute. I like his legs. Did I put them other sets in there? I think I did. All right, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed the tutorial on my little guy. Yeah, I love this little guy. I really do. He is my next little pickles. He's going everywhere with me. Right, Sam? We don't care what nobody say. For real, because he finna leave out with me now. What is it? Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. That was my baby cousin. But I'm trying to see something real quick. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell y'all too. I think I'm gonna sell my reborns, y'all, because I can't keep up with everything, and I don't know what's gonna happen. My hair standing up. Like, I got one plan, but I don't know if I'm really gonna go that route yet. But I'm going to end up. Oh my God, how do you do this? I'm going to end up selling everybody. So I'll do another video later on them to show you guys. But the only two I may end up keeping is Birdie and Mouse. And probably Cameron, because fuck, his legs are still over there at the house. I'll just have to repeat what I did with him, how I created him. Interesting. But yep, everybody's gonna be for sale. It's just gonna be me and Prince. I'm okay with that because they're easy to get back. But Birdie and Mouse is not. I'm keeping them. So yeah, if anybody's interested, they won't come with a box open. They'll just come like they are. Unfortunately. Dang, I left the I'm gonna have to reorder those too. I'm gonna order them and send it to her house. I left them hand toys at the crib, Kathy. So what I'm gonna do is go on Babe's side and order those toys. I think they're like $10 and have them shipped to your house because I totally forgot to pack those. the stress on top of the ADHD brain fog, it really just be throwing me completely off. So I'm gonna do that. And my other friend, I do have the box of clothes. Jeez Louise, guys. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna let y'all go. This is ET's Babies. I'm signing out. So I hope y'all enjoying y'all Thursday. This is ET's Babies. Remember to do better because we know better.